I'm making coleslaw dressing because I make my dressing ahead of time and have it when I need it. And then I only put as much as I need according to the cabbage that I have. So I've got 1 cup of mayo, and I use Hellmann's mayonnaise. I don't use the Miracle Whip. And I have a 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of Regina red wine vinegar. I like that because I like the flavor. I've got 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard and 1 teaspoon of onion. They're all in there together. I've grated the onion fine and stir it up. And then you just put salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to sprinkle about, maybe 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and that's to taste. You can put as much or as little as you like. When I do the cabbage, I also put some salt and pepper in that. And I just put cabbage and I shred a carrot for color. And I'm gonna use a little whip and whip it up so all the lumps are out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna whip it. You can do it in a mixer, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just gonna whip it up so we get all the lumps, make sure it's all incorporated. Now I'll put this in a jar, and I can do as little or as much cabbage as I want and put just enough of the dressing. This is half a recipe. Whenever I want to make coleslaw, I have this already in the jar. That's it. The half a recipe, you get about a pint, and that's a lot. When you use this dressing, you just put a little bit at a time because you can always add more, but it goes a long way. Cut the cabbage and prepare it. You can get packaged cabbage and use that. When I do that, I only buy the Dole because they have a nice mixture and they have enough carrots in it to make it look pretty. And sometimes when I use the package, I actually add more carrots to it. Okay, I'll cut this in quarters. And I'll take the core out. And then I'm just going to continue cutting it real thin. I do have a machine that makes it real small pieces, but I like the strips better. So I'm just going to keep turning it till I get the right sides that I want. And just keep cutting real thin until I get the entire cabbage cut. I just always use a green cabbage. If you put a red cabbage in it, it does turn kind of reddish. So I just use the green cabbage. Nice fresh one. Tastes good. I have a mandolin, but I don't use that because I cut my hand on it once. I wasn't careful enough. So I just cut it with my knife. And I can get it pretty thin. This is a good salad when you want to have leftovers because it doesn't get soggy. It stays nice, and actually it tastes better the next day. The longer it sits, the better it tastes. I like making the dressing instead of just putting everything in the cabbage and then trying to adjust it and see, well, maybe it needs a little bit of this or a little bit of that. You don't have to do that when you already have the dressing all made. And it's much better than the stuff you buy in the stores. Now I'm going to grate the carrots. I've got 2 carrots. I think that'll be enough color. And I do it on the coarse grater. If you do it a little bit angles, you'll get a longer piece of carrot. See? Okay, I added another carrot because I think 2 wasn't quite enough. Okay. Just sprinkle a little more pepper and salt in here. Now I'm going to just take this, and I'm not pouring the whole thing, maybe about half of it. You could always add more, but you can't take it out. And now we're going to have to really mix it good. Your hands work good too. And what I'll do is put a lot on there, and it'll feel like it still needs more. But if I let it sit, I'll find out that a lot of it goes to the bottom. Then I'll re-stir it. And I won't add more till I actually feel that it needs more. See, there's a lot in there. It's mixing in. Good. You want to try to get all the cabbage mixed in with some of the dressing. When I'm making a lot for a party, I make a full recipe, which is double the recipe I told you. It has 2 cups of mayo, and it'll make you maybe a quart. And it's good to have in the refrigerator during the summer. You can pull out some vegetables and pour it over it, and it's real good. You can just do it, and you don't have to make the dressing every time. There, see, it's pretty wet. Now I'm going to leave it. I'll refrigerate it, and later when we're ready for dinner, we'll check it again. Looks like it's got plenty on there. Oops, here's a big piece of cabbage. I'll stir it one more time before I serve it, though. I think there's enough carrots in there. It looks pretty. I'm going to wipe the bowl now, my hands, and we'll refrigerate it, and it's ready for dinner.